Aries has been doing groundwork for the past couple of weeks while we figure out what's going on with him physically. His hind end is definitely less connected to the rest of his body. This disconnect is likely due to several factors. 1. He's an older Mustang that has had to make major adjustments in order to live a captive life. That, no doubt, has stressed him out. He still carries a lot of tension and wariness. The only way to get over that is through time and experience. He is much better now than he was even 4 weeks ago. The second contributing factor is likely some level of digestive upset. Higher stress leads to higher acid production in the stomach. We are all familiar with getting an upset stomach over stress. Something like 97% of all horses have ulcers. Aries probably has some level of ulcers in his stomach or hind gut. He is being treated for them currently. The third contributing factor is his saddle. My saddle didn't fit him exactly the way it should. It wasn't awful, but it was off enough that he didn't appreciate it. And now he has developed some physical changes because of it. Notice in the canter how he stabs the ground with his feet rather than places them there. Also notice how his back muscles are tight and flexing. Head high, hind legs strung out behind. Horses are sensitive creatures, and they are so stoic. So many of our horses have problems that they don't tell us about. Aries is quite secretive about his discomfort, until his body just couldn't hide it any longer. I am glad he is feeling free enough to express it now, and that I can help him fix what's gone wrong. Every little thing we do with them has an effect. It's a heavy responsibility that I think most horses let us get lazy about. Whenever I use a belly, flank, or butt rope on Aries, I am never pulling hard on the line. I let the weight of the rope create the pressure. This task should not be a problem for him, but it is, and I find out why later. Here he is doing much better. In fact, a butt rope can help Aries to round his back by gently stimulating the hind legs to step under more deeply. Another part of Aries' problem has been his tension along his back and rib cage. It's like keeping your abs and intercostal muscles and lower back flexed all the time. This causes him to hold his breath and not bend his rib cage. So these ground exercises, where I ask him to bend in different ways, yielding his hindquarters and then the forequarters, will dramatically help him in releasing that pent-up tension. It basically all traces back to a tight core. He holds all of his tension in his back and rib cage, and the bending will help release it. Aries is still wary of the hose. Water just isn't supposed to come out of a hose like that. But after a hot workout, he really appreciated the cool water. Today I wanted Aries to work on transitions. Transitions between gaits or between speeds at the same gait can dramatically help a horse with balance and muscle development. Changing speed involves changing the length of stride and changing their center of balance. It's a great exercise for a horse with tense muscles because they have to use the muscles differently for each transition, which means the muscles can't stay tight. Physical and mental changes in a horse are all part of the progress of training. Just like in people, they get sore from working and have to have things changed to compensate. And equipment needs to be changed as they change. As he canters here, he is stabbing the ground much less with his feet. He is relaxing a little bit. Head is coming down and out, a smidge. But even small changes like that are beneficial. Progress is a sum of small changes. This stretching and lowering of his head is what I want to see at the canter as well. Today he did much better with the flank and butt rope combination. This configuration usually causes him to buck significantly. It's not that he didn't, but it was much less. In order to isolate the exercise to just a butt rope, I put the loop over his head so that it would rest on his neck. I then threw the line behind him. This did not ignite much of a reaction. As I mentioned earlier, the butt rope is useful in not only helping him to round his back and step under more, but also to deal with things behind him in his blind spot. My vet came to check on Aries today. She immediately noted a trigger point for him. Here she is tapping him, not poking, and look at that pretty big reaction. It isn't painful, or he would move away. She suspects that a lot of his current body problems go back to a slightly ill-fitting saddle that now really doesn't fit. It's all part of the progression of training. They change, so you have to change. Now to hunt for a new saddle.